Hello, family. Oh my gosh, I feel like I haven't done a video in so long. I hope you guys are doing good and you came into 2016, into the new year, in a blessed way. I wanted to just do a very quick video, and I wanted to speak to you guys about free will versus God's perfect will. I actually was having this conversation with God in the car as I was driving yesterday morning, and I was like, I really want to incorporate this into courtship ministry, which is something that I want to do at Rhema Bible Church for the young adults. So I wanted to speak to you about this free will and God's perfect will. It reminds me of a short sermon that Pastor Sfiso from Rhema Bible Church, who's his own pastor, when he preached at half-night prayer, at our last half-night prayer in the beginning of February. He spoke about when Jesus died on the cross, he paid the price. Basically, you were purchased. It says so in the Bible that you are bought at a price, so you're no longer your own. You don't belong to yourself. And it's like for example, buying something at a store. If you buy something at a store, it can be a shoe. You buy the shoe and you exchange your money for the shoe. So the shoe now belongs to you. The minute you make that exchange, it just reminds me of that beautiful song by Hillsong, A Beautiful Exchange. That exchange of God now owns you, and you give of yourself now. There's like a purchase that happens, and God now owns you and owns everything in your life. And I love how he said that, does it mean that you can do whatever you want to do? No. Does it mean that you can go wherever you want to go? No. Does it mean that you can say whatever you want to say? No, because you are now owned by God and through Christ. And it's people find it like, oh my God, does that mean like I can't like do whatever I want to do? No, because that's the difference between free will and God's perfect will. Because the minute you're purchased by Christ, you die. You are dead. There's no longer you and anything that you ever wanted. And I put a post up a few days ago, actually, that once you walked with God for a while, you will realize that Psalm 23 means something totally different to you. Psalm 23, it's the Lord is my shepherd. And when you research exactly the characteristics of a shepherd, you then get to understand what a sheep is meant to do. You are completely dependent on the shepherd. And the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. And that I shall not want, I love it. I love it because it's two things. It's I shall not want, meaning I don't want for anything. I'm fine. I'm dependent totally on the shepherd. I don't need anything. My needs are taken care of. I shall not want. And the other want is something that I discussed with my best friend, Nani. And she was at a conference called Iron Sharpens Iron with Dag Heward-Mills. And Dag Heward-Mills says, when you say the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want, why are you busy wanting things? Like, I hear people and I hear Christians saying, oh, if I want that beautiful Mercedes Benz, I want this. Why are you even wanting anything when you have everything? Like, you have everything. There's no need for you to be wanting material things of the world, because all you ever need to want is God, is the shepherd. That is it. Because everything else is taken care of when you're owned by him. But in any case, going back to free will, God's perfect will. And I feel like this is the reason why maybe a lot of Christians struggle with their journey with Christ, is that they're still fighting this thing of, I still want to do what I want to do. I still want to make my own choices. And I want God. I want to surrender. When you sing that song, I surrender all. Yeah, we're not really surrendering all, because it's like we want God to take over, but at the same time, we still want to do what we want to do. And I was thinking about it also in the context of relationships, and I've had this conversation a gazillion times with so many people about I still have to choose my own spouse. When you belong to God, you don't choose anything. Like, you don't choose anything. You seriously, like, guys, you don't choose anything. Not even a spouse. That is all up to God. And especially for me, I really For me, this is God's job. This is completely God's job. Everything actually in my life is God's job. Everything. But people need to realize how important it is to surrender this to Christ. It is so important to surrender this. Surrender your career, surrender your finances, surrender your health, surrender your relationships, surrender the relationships even with your family. Everything in your life that is may be a struggle, or everything in your life, your day-to-day has to be God at the front, God at the center. Daddy, what must I do? Daddy, today is Tuesday. I give you glory, I give you honor. What do I need to do today? Tell me what you want me to do. Like that, we should be consulting every single morning, praying every single morning, consulting. Daddy, I am yours. I'm here to do what you want me to do. What do I do today? Like, even if you're going normally to your normal job, God needs to be the center of your decisions on a day-to-day basis. But going back to free will and God's perfect will, when it comes to relationships, guys, I sincerely believe that for me, it needs to be God who chooses this person. Like, there's no ways. I look at my track record and I look at all the people that I have been with, even before Christ and even after Christ, actually, in the church. And I realize how much I've exercised too much free will. Like, you just exercise free will. You do what you want to do and it never works out. And I feel like God never fails. God never fails. He's just perfect in all of his ways. And if he were to give me the spouse, I know for a fact that relationship would last forever. It would last forever. It would definitely end in marriage, and it would last forever. Because all of the relationships that I have chosen myself out of my own free will have not lasted because it's out of free will. It's not in God's perfect will. And wow. Free will is when you are led by the flesh. I always say free will is led by flesh, because as much as God gave us free will, I don't think it's something that's prompted by the Spirit. I feel like God's perfect will is prompted by the Spirit. And I make an example where a man looks at a woman and sees how beautiful she is, and she's got a great body, she's got the body that I like in a woman. That's all what you like. And that's what prompts you to go after this girl and ask her out on a date. You weren't prompted by God to go to this girl. You were prompted by what you saw. And I feel like that's the problem. Men don't look at women, meet women, and think to themselves, okay, wait, let me just go pray about this girl. Let me take my time, go pray about her. She's beautiful, but I don't know whether she's mine. I don't know whether she's from God. Instead of going immediately and, following the flesh and asking her out, I feel like that's my problem between free will and God's perfect will. And that's when you can tell when somebody's walking in free will and somebody's walking in God's perfect will, is that they use themselves and how I feel right now, and I'm gonna go after her. And I think that is where we get it wrong, is that everything needs to be prompted by the Spirit. Everything. If you feel like you have some sort of a desire, it can even be at work, it can be in any situation. You have some sort of a desire, pray about it first. 10 seconds, I need to go back, I need to consult, and I need to hear from God. Only when you have heard from God that yes, this is your wife, or yes, this person that is approaching you, who has made himself accountable by asking your spiritual counsel about you and that he wants to pursue you, then God will tell you that yes, this is your husband. But like men who just randomly come at you asking you out on a date, they haven't even asked for permission from your spiritual counsel. They haven't made themselves known to anybody. They just want to see. They just want to, you look beautiful, so they just want to see if they can, get to know you. No. Sorry, hi. No. Like, you can tell that that's when somebody is walking in their flesh. It's the same as all these men you walk past and they're whistling at you and they think you look so pretty, and they're all led by their flesh. They all just like what they see. They don't know whether I'm psychotic. They know nothing, because they're not going to God and asking them, is this my wife? All they want is that body. All they want is that flesh. That's it. So I just wanted to I'm going to cut it short there. I want to do more lessons on this free will and God's perfect will in a different context as well. But I really I wanted to just to get a feeler out there. And I hope you guys have an amazing, amazing day. I'm late. And yeah, I hope you have a blessed day. And I hope you will start to walk in that way.